What's up, everybody? It's Camtendo, and I want to talk about a specific game with you all. But before we do that, I'm going to get into our comment of the day, which isn't one because it's New Year, and with that comes a new question. That being, what is your opinions on the game I'm about to discuss with you guys down below? And when you reply, you can get featured in the next video. So, a few years back, a video game got revealed titled Palworld, and I didn't really think much of it. It was also revealed alongside like Tim Tim and other games of that nature. Everybody taking advantage of the Sword and Shield hate and pretty much just, hey, I can do that better. At least that's what I originally assumed, but I didn't really think much of it. Fast forward to 2024, the game is out, or at least in the early access beta of it is, I believe, and I decided, heck, why not? Let me give it a shot. So, if you want my honest opinions on Palworld, I actually really enjoy it. And before you grab your pitchforks, let me tell you why. So, back in 2022, when Pokemon Legends Arceus came out, I was really enjoying Legends. Everything down from the catching mechanics to the dodging of Pokemon, the backstrikes, everything like that. It kept me super engaged with Pokemon Legends Arceus. And I really wanted them to at least add on to it, a new DLC, things of that nature. Legends was just such a good game. The writing Pokemon, the story, it was kind of meh, but it's a Pokemon game story. But everything, the crafting, the catching, the battle system, the final boss with Volo and Giratina, everything about Legends was just perfect in my opinion. Just like one of the best Pokemon experiences I have ever felt since, I believe, like Black and White, and maybe even Base Sun and Moon. And when Scarlet and Violet got announced a month later, I kind of felt, wow, excited for a new generation. I felt this feeling of, wow, we just got this awesome game and we're gonna get another one. I was excited, but I was also kind of worried because I felt like Legends was just getting pushed aside, which I know it wasn't. I knew it wasn't. There seems to be like something going on with Legends and like BDSP and the whole release cycle of the game, so I knew that wasn't really the case. However, when Scarlet and Violet came out and we got to play it, I granted they already confirmed that the catch mechanics was going to be in there. I felt pretty down about that. Legends was a awesome step in the right direction for the future of Pokemon when it came to the catching mechanic. The battle system, not so much, but we can give that a pass. I like Legends battle system, but I do prefer the main series battle system going forward. And I know that there is a way for them to balance the Legends catching mechanic with the main series battle system, or well, Legends is main series, but you get the point. And when I opened up Palworld, of course, I went into this game with the expectations of, it's just Pokemon with guns. It's gonna be so many like crude jokes and stupid humor, and wow, I can't believe I'm even giving this game a shot. But when I actually got a feel with it, and like when I made my secret base for the first time, crafting the Pal Orbs, going out and exploring, and catching the pals, it gave me that same sense of like, you could say like bliss that I felt playing Legends for the first time. This open world with all these unique creatures, it was honestly breathtaking in my opinion. I loved walking around, catching the pals, seeing these super strong ones that I shouldn't be fighting at all, and catching them, managing to catch them, crafting the orbs, getting more stuff, making my base, putting like all the pals in my base, like building upon it, adding more stuff, the raids and things happening of that nature, eventually crafting more materials, getting more pals to go out and explore. Unlocking flight was such a major thing for me. It was like, it scratched that itch that Legends Arceus left and that Scarlet and Violet couldn't scratch anymore, because it just took away what made Legends so cool. And I as much as I want the Legends beginning to come back in the game, I don't think it will, because Game Freak is very stingy with their features. If it's successful in one game, they're going to keep it in that game so you can have a reason to go back and play that game, which is a really, really weird like development mentality for them, but what can you do? So that's how I felt with the mechanics. All in all, I love Palworld in the sense of its mechanics. Now, on to the things that are kind of iffy about. And these is like the main controversy, and this is where my big rant comes in. The designs of the pals, while similar to Pokemon, at least some of them were, they aren't all like that. There are some that you can look at and you can go, wow, that looks just like a Pokemon. But then there are some where you can go, wow, that looks like a Digimon. Or heck, that one looks like a yokai. Like, there is this weird rhetoric when it comes to the Pokemon community where when a new monster catching RPG comes out or a new monster catching game comes out, because Palworld isn't even trying to compete with Pokemon in an RPG sense, but when it comes to this weird mentality of a new monster collecting game, Pokemon fans have this weird like hatred towards anything and everything when it comes to this. And I guess I can understand why. I was going to say I don't, but looking back at it, I do. We feel threatened when our hyperfixations, the thing that built our childhoods, it feels threatened. Granted, you as scared as Pokemon fans are, they have no reason to be. Pokemon is a multi-million-dollar company, and no matter how successful Palworld is in this month, because let's face it, I don't think Palworld, as fun as the game is, I don't think Palworld has the legs to stand on that Pokemon does. Right now, like there's barely a story going on. The only story is told through subtext, just kind of like Gen 1 Pokemon was, but this isn't like we live in an age now where story is like pretty important in a video game, but in this world, it's cool, it's crazy exploring and capturing these monsters and building a house and all of that stuff. But outside of the bosses, there really isn't much of a good story going on there. And Pokemon stories aren't that good themselves, but at least there's something there besides like reports and things like that. But I digress. People were comparing these designs to Pokemon. There's even somebody, I'm not going to mention them, but somebody that went around and fabricated an entire thread claiming that Palworld copied Pokemon in terms of like models and things like that, which isn't true. That there was immediately disproven and the guy was immediately called out, and I think he even came out and admitted that it was all fabricated. But it's this weird mentality of you, Pokemon, as a community, as a fan base, we need to chill out and just let something else exist. Pokemon is not going anywhere, and there is no such thing. No matter how many times we say this, we said this with Temtem, we said this with Yokai Watch, we said this with like even Digimon back in the day. There is no such thing as a Pokemon killer. Pokemon cannot be killed. Pokemon is never going anywhere. Pokemon is here to stay. Pokemon has taken over the world. It is not going anywhere. Stop calling every new game that comes out the Pokemon Killer, and stop assuming that every new game that involves catching monsters is going to threaten your favorite franchise. That is a franchise killing mentality. You kill franchises with that, and people whose passion projects, or heck, even if this game was made to kill Pokemon, it's not going to. Pokemon is never going to die. It just won't. I'm sorry. It's not gonna die. No matter how trash you say the games are, no matter how awful you say the anime is, no matter how bad you say the manga is, or how terrible you say the TCG is, Pokemon is never leaving. It just won't. It's impossible for this franchise to ever die. There are so many links that this franchise has with children, with adults, with old people, with your dog, your grandma, your caterpillar outside, like the bugs in your house, bro. Pokemon is everywhere. You cannot escape it, and no matter how many franchises you make or how many franchises you claim can kill Pokemon, you're just lying to yourself. You're just lying to yourself, and you know it. Pokemon is never gonna die. No matter how much you hate Game Freak, no matter how much you hate Pokemon, There is no game in existence that can kill this franchise, and their fan base itself needs to sit back and relax because it's not happening. Now, another thing that I've seen people talk about is the AI art. Just because the company made a game that apparently used AI art in like this weird find AI art game or something like that, I don't think that Palworld itself used AI, because there are some designs in this game that look phenomenal. There are some designs I saw in Palworld that I'm like, holy crap, that is crazy. But then I see like there are some that do like Pokemon. Like there's this one electric rodent that looks exactly like a Raichu to me. And I'm like, whoa, that's literally a Raichu. And there's some other ones out there to like talk about. But like I saw somebody post a picture of the sheep pal. I'm gonna try to put it up on screen, but I saw somebody post a picture of the sheep pal, and they compared it to freaking Wooloo, as if sheeps aren't a thing that already exists in the world. Like, I saw somebody compare the dog to Lycanroc as if dogs don't exist in the world. Like, some of these are such leaps, and I feel like it's just a fan base desperately trying to find something to get mad about with this game. And while there are some actually genuine concerns or some complaints that, yeah, some of these do warrant a like, really, huh, that's the best you can do, Palworld. There were some that I saw that are like crazy, like some pals out there I'm like, holy crap, that's awesome, I would love to see a Pokemon like that. Or wow, that kind of looks like a Digimon to me. Like this weird rhetoric of, oh, it looks like a Pokemon, it's obviously copying it. It was bad when Yokai did it. When people like did that with Yokai, it was bad when they did that for like Tim and things like that. Like, Pokemon isn't going anywhere. Stop feeling threatened when your favorite multi-billion-dollar franchise that already made its money off you, it will continue to make its money off you, feels threatened. So I talked about this with Ruffled in our podcast. With Palworld, if they decide to go other avenues with Palworld, like if they were to make a show out of it, or if they were to make a TCG or merch and like that, then yeah, maybe Palworld will be a threat to Pokemon. But right now, it's just a video game. That's all Palworld is. It's just a video game that's meant to not even compete with Pokemon. I feel like it's meant to compete with games like Ark Survival, games of that nature, games that like, because it's not a RPG, it's a survival game. Now, the things I do not like about this game, the biggest one is the guns. I think the guns are very stupid. Like, Pokemon with Legends, you had like the whole like throwing mud and stuff like that. Pokemon's a kid's game. It was obvious from the start what Palworld was, and it wasn't a game made for kids. Even though the designs are meant to garner towards people of that, like kids of that nature, the game itself, there's like cursing, there's like poachers and things like that. It was not meant for children in the slightest. And I feel like I'm gonna leave it at that. There's like my biggest complaint with the game is like the whole gun system is just very like the nature system in that game is insane. Like there are some pals that can get like a certain they can get the press and then get like S-word tendencies or develop an ED. Like it's very, very weird that the game will go so far as to include these like things to like incentivize you to like switch out your pal. Or like, granted, like I do understand that like when you put your pals in the workforce, they can get overworked and things like that, but these are very, very like very specific, like strange mechanics to include on a pal in a game of any nature at that. But yeah, that's where I am with Palworld. It's a very strange like way the Pokemon community has been treating this game, and like I said, in some cases it's warranted. But bro, a sheep exists in real life. By your logic, a sheep, God, the world itself, Earth, ripped off Pokemon. And that's where I'm going to end it today. I hope you guys enjoyed this weird little rant discussion of mine. It's weird. Again, there's no such thing as a Pokemon killer. Pokemon will not die. It is as immortal as we want it to be. It is as immortal as Game Freak wants it to be. It's not going anywhere. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for me. If you guys want to see more content like this, more weird rants like this, make sure to like and subscribe to the notification bell. My name is Cam Tendo. Love you guys. Glad to be back. And I will see you guys when I see you. Bye.